When I started out soap making, I thought more oils equals better soap. I thought the most expensive ingredients you use, the more advanced soap maker you are. And of course, I spent more than $100 on oils that added no extra value to my soap. So today, I'm gonna show you why most oils are not of any extra value for soap making and which ones you should be using instead. So let's take a look at the oils. First of all, grapeseed oil. I hear this a lot. People tell me, can I make soap with grapeseed oil? When we look at the fatty acid composition, grapeseed oil has a linoleic acid concentration of 69 to 78%. This is what you need to pay attention in. Linoleic acid is the acid that is very prone to oxidation. It oxidizes really fast and it leads to dreaded orange spots, which is basically when your soap looks like that. I've made this a few years ago and I always keep it as an example and as a reminder of how dreaded orange spots look like. So basically when linoleic acid is very prone to oxidation, and chemistry wise you know that because it has two double bonds, and when it has more than one double bond it's quite an unstable oil. It gets oxidized, and when it gets oxidized it goes rancid and it leads to this color. It's not dangerous for you, you can still use it, but it just aesthetically doesn't look beautiful. When you buy grapeseed oil, you buy something relatively expensive that is very prone to oxidation. So no, grapeseed oil is not a good oil for soap making. What about rapeseed oil? Rapeseed oil is cheap. Why can't I use rapeseed oil? Honestly, rapeseed oil is 18 to 26% of linoleic acid concentration, so it has a medium risk of rancidity. It's not like grapeseed oil. If you were to use it, I would recommend you using up to 10%. So just you can replace part of your olive oil if olive oil is expensive. You can replace part of your olive oil with rapeseed oil, but not all of your olive oil with rapeseed oil, because that could lead to rancidity. What about regular sunflower oil? The regular sunflower oil is also really cheap. That's true, but it has 60 to 70% linoleic acid concentration. So it's very cheap, but it will also lead to dreaded orange spots and a very soft bar. So if you're planning to use sunflower oil, I would recommend you use high oleic sunflower oil. This is basically sunflower oil that has been processed to have a high concentration of oleic acid. Cool. By the way, I made a free PDF of the 7 ingredients you can use to make many different skincare products. You don't need 100 ingredients to make skincare and soap. You only need those seven ingredients. They can replace more than half of your bathroom. It's phenomenal what you can make with very few ingredients. So if you want this free PDF, comment I want the formulation and I will send it to you as soon as I see your comment. Tell me about avocado oil. Avocado oil is another one. So avocado oil, fatty acid composition is great. Low linoleic acid concentration, high oleic acid concentration, a bit of palmitic acid. It's perfect. Look at that. It's very expensive. You don't get anything extra compared to olive oil. Olive oil is a better alternative because it's cheaper. Avocado oil has a bit of a green tincture, so it will add a bit of green color to your soap, but it won't really add anything else. All the nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, they all get degraded in a high pH and high temperature environment like the one of saponification. So using avocado oil adds no extra value. The same thing with argan oil, the same thing with macadamia oil. You know, when I see macadamia oil, it looks phenomenal. It has oleic acid, it even has omega-7, palmitoleic acid, which is very rare. So but the price of macadamia oil is almost 2 to 3 times the price of olive oil. Then let's go to the cleansing oils. The cleansing oils are the ones that are high in lauric and myristic acid, and they're the ones that add a lot of cleansing and bubbles to your soap. So coconut oil, great oil, fantastic. It adds a lot of bubbles to your soap. Then we also have babasu oil. Babasu oil has a bit lower concentration of lauric acid. It's more suitable for people who for some reason might be a bit allergic to coconut oil, or maybe coconut oil leads to sensitivity or to dry skin. then they can use babasu oil. But babasu oil is also 2 times more expensive. So in the end, if you have dry or sensitive skin, I would just recommend removing coconut oil completely and just using olive oil, shea butter, and castor oil, for example. Creaminess and hardness category. Here we have a lot. We have shea butter, cocoa butter, lard, beef tallow. They're all great oils, but of course, some people prefer beef tallow and lard because you can basically buy them very cheap, render them yourself, and use them in soap making. While shea, and especially now cocoa butter, can be a bit more expensive. So from all the different oils, which are the ones that I recommend? I recommend from conditioning oils, you use olive oil. Olive oil is high in oleic acid. It leads to an amazing conditioning and gentle lather. And then high oleic sunflower oil. This could also be an alternative. I know this is cheaper in some areas and it behaves almost the same as olive oil. Everything else is something that either leads to dreaded orange spots, or it's either very expensive and doesn't add any extra properties to your lather compared to olive oil. So these are the 2 conditioning oils that I would go for, olive oil and high oleic sunflower oil. From cleansing oils, I would just go with coconut oil. I would not use babasu oil because honestly, if you have sensitive or dry skin, just remove babasu oil, just remove coconut oil completely and you will be fine. Creaminess and hardness, I would go with shea butter and beef tallow. Those are my top butters. The other ones are really good. I've also used cocoa butter and lard before and they work perfectly fine. Cocoa butter though is slightly more expensive, and lard is slightly softer than beef tallow. It doesn't lead to as a hard soap as beef tallow does. So from this, I recommend shea butter and beef tallow. Always use rendered beef tallow so that there is no smell. And I also like to use refined shea butter so that there is no scent of the raw shea butter that might interfere with your essential oils and your fragrance oil blends. It might completely dominate them actually. And this 4th category is lather boost, where here it's basically only castor oil, a very unique oil that adds richness and thickness to your lather. It's very sticky, that's why you only need to add around 5 to 6%. And it's one of my favorite oils to use. If you want the complete formulation system, which includes hours of video courses, recipes, and access to this online tool called the Soap Hub, then I have a waitlist. The course is launching April 29th, and the waitlist members get 50% off the first 5 days. So you can find this in the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope this video could add some value to you today, and I hope you have an amazing day. See you next time.